Yo, what's up guys? Trading on Roblox is definitely one of the best ways to make Robux. You can easily make millions of Robux just off of trading. Personally, I've made over 1 million Robux from trading, and there's other people who have literally made hundreds of millions of Robux from it. Today I'm going to be giving you guys an updated guide on how to trade on Roblox. So just to start with the basics, you need to have Roblox Premium to be able to trade. If you don't have Premium, I definitely recommend getting the 450 one. It's the cheapest one, it's only $5 a month. You don't really need the extra Robux to start trading. Personally, I've never bought any of the other ones, I've only bought the 450 one, and I recommend it for you guys as well. So once you have Roblox Premium, what you need to do is you need to get a limited item. Chances are you might already have a limited item, so you might want to just check through your inventory and see if there's any items with a limited tag next to it. So any item that's limited, you guys can actually trade with other users who also have Premium and also have limited items. So now that you have Premium and you have a limited item, you can actually send a trade to somebody. In order to send a trade, you have to look in the top right corner of their profile, and there should be 3 dots. And once you click on those dots, it should say trade items. And once you click that button, it'll take you to the trade page where you can actually look at your limited items, and you can also look at the other person's limited items. So once you start to put items in, it'll show you the total value of your items in wrap. So the wrap of an item is the recent average price, which can be seen on its page right here under average price. This is the price that the item has recently been selling for. So the wrap or recent average price is actually different from the value of an item. The value of an item is the amount that it actually gets traded for rather than amount that it sells for. So if you want to see the value of your items, I recommend using a website called Rollimons. On this website, you can see every limited item on Roblox, you can see their value and the demand of the item. So the demand of an item is also very important, and basically what that means is how much other people want this item. So the higher the demand of an item, the more people actually want it. The lower the demand, the less people want it. Obviously, the values and the demand on Rollimons aren't always accurate because they're not always updated right away. So you don't want to live by this value or this demand 100% of the time. You should use your own judgment and see what other people are trading for the items and see what's going on in the community rather than only looking at Rollimons. So now I'm going to talk about the main ways to actually make profit from trading. So I definitely think the most common method to make profit on trading is the upgrading and downgrading method. So basically, what this method means is that you upgrade your items, and if you don't know what upgrading means, it's basically just when you give more items in return for less. So as you can see right here, this trade is a 2-for-1 trade, so I'm upgrading. So if you don't know what a downgrade is, it's basically when you're giving less items for more. So in this trade, I'm giving 1 item in return for 2. And basically in the upgrading downgrading method, what you'll try to do is try to upgrade without overpaying or giving more value than your items are worth. And then when you downgrade, you have to try to get overpays and make profit that way. So for example, in this trade right here, I ended up getting the neon green beautiful hair for 10,274 Robux. But in this next trade, I actually got 11,173 from it. So I made about 900 profit by using the upgrade and downgrading method. I upgraded for equal and I was able to downgrade for an overpay. This is definitely one of the most effective profit methods, especially when you get bigger items. So another method on how to make profit in trading is flipping projected items. So if you don't know what a projected item is, it's basically an item where the wrap is very inflated. So as you can see on this items chart, normally it sells for about 2,000 Robux, maybe sometimes 3,000. And then all of a sudden, it sold for 137,000 Robux 4 times. So obviously that means that something happened here. This item sold for 137,000 4 times, and that increased the wrap a lot, but that doesn't mean that the value actually increased, because this item eventually is going to go back down to what it's normally worth. So while this item has an inflated price, you basically just want to trade it for more than it's originally worth and make profit off of it. Or as long as you get more in return for your projected items than you gave, then you're making profit as well. I think this is definitely one of the most effective trading methods because you're going to be making less trades but making more profit. The only problem is that it's hard to find someone to actually accept one of these trades, but once you do, you end up making a lot of profit in one trade. So there's another really effective method that doesn't even involve much trading at all. So if you guys just invest into the right items, you might be able to make a lot of profit. Over time, items obviously go up because as time goes on, there's just less and less copies since accounts are getting deleted and a lot of people just don't want to trade their items. So if you invest into the right items, you might be able to make a lot of profit by it going up over time. This method definitely takes the longest, but it involves the least effort since you're not really making any trades, you're just looking for the right items and then buying or trading for them. So for me, for example, an item that I ended up investing into is the Admiral of the Royal Sky Fleet. So when I first got this item, it was only worth 220,000 Robux, but over time it rose 40,000 and went up to 260,000. So I ended up giving 253,000 for it, and I got over 310,000 in return. So I made over 60,000 profit just holding this item. You can also do this with smaller items. So for example, when the Super Happy Face first came out, it was only about 500 Robux, but now it's currently worth 105,000. So even with small items, occasionally they can raise a lot. More recently, this was found with the Zara Larson face, which when it first came out was only selling for around 3,000, but now it's selling for over 8,000 Robux. So if you find the right items and invest into them, you can definitely make a lot of easy profit. So recently, Roblox has actually been releasing a lot of different limited items. So every time they release one of these limited items, they've always been profitable. So anytime a new limited comes out, I definitely recommend you guys go ahead and buy it. You can also use the 40% method and save even more Robux and make even more profit. But definitely buy these limited items as soon as they come out, because they're always going to be worth it. There's only been a very few amount of cases where you didn't make profit on these items, which was the Gucci guitar case and the Gucci feathers and crystals headpiece, but that's because the price for them was 900 Robux. So that wasn't really too likely for it to work out. But for the rest of these items, they sold for around 150 to 350 Robux, so they were always going to be profitable. I definitely always recommend buying these limiteds when they first come out. And one thing I always recommend when people ask me on tips for trading is not to trade for items based on how they look or how much you like the item. Whenever I trade, I try to trade for profit and not for specific items. Obviously some items are better than others, but what I mean by that is not to trade for items because you like them. Trade for an item because it's good or because you're making profit on it. If you trade for items that you like, you're probably going to end up overpaying or giving too much just because you like the item. So definitely keep that in mind and try your best not to give too much for an item just because you like it. Anyways, I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys, and I gave you a few tips which end up helping your trading career. Hopefully 2022 is going to be a great year for trading, and Roblox continues to release a bunch more limited items. Obviously, we don't really know what's going to happen in the next year, but hopefully it does turn out good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy or if this video did help you, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.